Okay, so I'm looking at 18-22. Okay, what does it say? Smithson Winery in Pleasant Valley, New York has two departments, fermenting and packaging. Okay, so it's a process cost situation where we're not tracking it by job, we're tracking the cost by each process. Okay. Direct materials are added at the beginning of the fermenting process, and those direct materials look like they're going to be grapes. And at the end of the packaging process, where we add bottles. So two types of direct material. Conversion costs are added evenly throughout each process. Data from the month of March for the fermenting department are as follows. So that's the fermenting department's data in units, and then cost data down below. Okay. And they did a production cost report. So this is what it looks like. Yours doesn't come up? Okay. For the fermenting department, right?
Yeah.
So what are they asking me? They want me to prepare the journal entries to record the assignment of direct materials and direct labor and the allocation of overhead to the fermenting department. And then also prepare a journal entry to record the cost of the gallons completed and transferred to the packaging department. Okay, so we're going to begin with a summary journal entry to record the direct material. So we're going to be debiting work in process fermenting because we're adding these costs to the fermenting department. And then we're going to be crediting for direct material. It's going to come out of the raw materials inventory. Direct labor will be from the pay register, so it's going to be off of the wages payable. And then manufacturing overhead will come out of the overhead account. So we got to figure out what amounts were added. So costs added during the period, we have direct material of 9,360. So I'll go 9,360. Now, conversion cost, the definition of conversion cost is direct labor and manufacturing overhead. So what they have here is they have two costs that we need separately. We need the direct labor for our wages payable, and then we need the overhead. We need the two costs separate to make our journal entry. They're lumped into this one amount over here. So we got to look at the other data we have. Let's see if they tell us anything else. Costs added during March. Okay, it's giving me that information right here. Right. So it's breaking that. It's breaking it down, right? So you could even double check it. You could say 8272. Does this add up to 8272? Looks like 78272. Yes. So these two do add up to the 8,272. Right? And the one way you can remember that is you take material and you convert it into the end product by applying direct labor and overhead. So, right? If you're using direct labor and overhead to convert that raw material into a product, then these two combined, direct labor and overhead, could be labeled conversion costs. They're the cost of converting this direct material to the end product. Okay, so I'm going to pull these numbers. I can put this on the side. My direct labor is going to be 3,662. And my manufacturing overhead is going to be 4,610. Okay, and then what I need to do is add those up. So we'll go 9,360, 3,662, 4,610. That's going to be the total amount that we are charging to work in process, or we're booking as an increase to work in process. We'll get these guys out of the way. Okay, we did well on that. Okay. Follow so far. Okay. Now we need to know how much was completed and transferred out. I can pull that number from my production cost report. So if I look down here, it says completed and transferred out. So that's that total amount, 14,720, is what's going to move out of the fermenting department and into the bottling department, I believe. Okay, so we're gonna packaging. They call it packaging department. We're gonna debit the work in process inventory packaging, and we're gonna credit work in process fermenting. So we're taking it out of fermenting, and we're putting it into the packaging department. Okay, so I pulled the completed and transferred out number, 14,720. Okay. So I'm moving it from one process to the next. Right? They fermented it. Now they're going to package it. So we move it from one process to the next process. Okay, it says post the journal entries to the work in process inventory fermenting account, T account, and figure out the ending balance. Okay, so we get a debit. So let's see. I think they want us to break it down. So we'll break down our direct labor, direct material, and overhead, and we can pull it from here. So 9,360. Oops, 9,360. $3,662, and then the overhead amount was $4,610. Okay. And then we transfer out, so you take the second journal entry and you transfer out 14,720. Okay, and this is going to be labeled transferred to packaging. Then we can do the math. So I'll add up my debits. And I'm going to subtract the amount that was transferred out, which is 14,720. And I'm left with 2,912 as the ending balance. And before I hit enter, I want to go take a look at my production cost report. And I want to check that figure against this production cost report. So it looks like it checks out. You see my ending balance in the T account, 2,912. That matches the 2,912 in the ending work in process total column here. Okay, so I feel pretty confident that we're going to, oh, what did we do? One or more of your postings are incorrect. Please refer to the information given and to the journal entries you prepared in requirement 1. I see what I did wrong. I think I flip-flopped the labels, right? This should be direct material, and this should be direct labor. You see how I flip-flopped that? If we scroll back up, see, raw material was the $9,000 amount. Okay, so be very careful. I'm going to switch that around, raw material, direct material, and direct labor. I think we'll have it right now. Okay. So simple mistake like that could kill the problem. Be attention to detail. You got to be careful. Okay.
Well, if they would put everything on one page, that would be amazing. So you don't have to like up, down,
right.
up. That would be even.
Yeah.
Like how about like sum for me, like sum it for me versus
Add it.
making me
Add it for you. Yeah.
hand jam the sucker. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
No, no.
That's
Okay.
no, I'm sorry.
What is the average cost per gallon transferred out of the fermenting department into the packaging department? Why should Smithson Wineries managers want to know this cost? Okay, let's see. The average cost per gallon transferred out. Why don't we look at our gallons completed and transferred out to packaging, 6,400, so 6,400 gallons. And then our total cost transferred out was 14,720. So logically, I'm thinking we can take the 14,720 and divide it by the 6,400 or 6,400 gallons. And we got $2.30 per gallon. Okay, so I kind of got the average using the total cost transferred out, 14,720, and dividing by the units. So here's the gallons completed and transferred out, 6,400 gallons. Gave me $2.30 per gallon. Why should we be concerned about this? Let's see what our options are here. Why would Smithson's Wineries managers want to know this cost? The managers would compare the average cost per gallon against their budgeted cost to determine whether the cost of the fermenting process remain under control. If budgeted costs are lower, if your budget costs are lower than the average cost per gallon, then the managers have done, no, opposite. Budgeted costs are higher than the average actual cost per gallon, then the managers have done a good job controlling costs. In contrast, if budgeted costs are lower than the average cost per gallon, managers will investigate the reasons for the higher than expected costs. I think we got a good answer. Fantastic. Smithson Winery also uses the cost per gallon for external financial reporting, specifically to calculate the cost of goods sold on the income statement and the ending inventory on the balance sheet, right? Because cost of goods sold is an income statement item.